Hello, welcome back to Fred in the Shed. We're up in the Radio Shack and we have a new CB radio transceiver to look at. On this video, it's the all-new Radioddity CB-500. This video might be a little bit different because this one came in earlier in the week and I haven't even had a chance to crack the box open, been so busy. So I will be learning on this radio as I'll be showing you on camera. It's an all new radio to Radioddity, launched in January 2024, but previous Radioddity CBs have been generic with other models, maybe just a slight upgrade here or there, so it should be quite easy to figure out. So in a second we'll crack into the box, we'll do a full unboxing, see what we get for our money, we'll talk about the cost, and then later on in the video we'll connect it up to my Antron 99 CB antenna, search around, and hopefully by the end of the video I might get a DX contact on it. Just about to launch in the UK, not currently available in the UK on Amazon as I'm making this video. Selling price is full price £94 on Amazon, but as always you can get a 10% discount, so coming in just over 85 UK pounds. So a mid-range price radio. It is only a AM and FM radio. Unfortunately there is no SSB, no single sideband for that money. Firstly, instruction manual, very important. You know, I'm a bit funny about instruction manuals, and it's obviously it's going to be a menu-based radio. There seems to be very few buttons on the fascia of the radio itself. Unfortunately, this is the way they're going nowadays. So a quick look through here. Yeah, this looks pretty much fairly clear. We've got all of the menus there. There will be lots of menu features on this radio. I won't be taking you through all of them. The video will end up long enough as it is. But yeah, that looks absolutely fun. I just want to check the frequency range. Sometimes you have to mod some of these imported radios. Don't know if it really says that. Okay, so we've got. It's got privacy codes. Okay, we've got the CTC SS and the DCS. These are semi-privacy codes. They're sort of like squelch codes, if you like, which you get on the PMR radios, and more CBs are now featuring those. But you need two compatible radios to be able to use that. Yeah, frequency range. Okay, so we're on AM and FM, and we go from 26,565, so that's way down on the American channels, all the way up to 27,99125. So that's our FM, our funny little 25 that we got on the end. So it will cover the UK FM, I think, without having to mod it. In the past, what I found with these Radioddity radios is sometimes there is a mod. You can sometimes do it in the menu without going inside the radio. There is a high-powered mod. If it is possible to do that, we'll look at that on another video, because I'm aware this video is going to take quite some time. Right, let's first get the radio out of the box. Like I say, not even opened it. Power lead there. It comes with a 12-volt auxiliary cigarette lighter socket. It is hardwired into the radio. So if you were going to use this on a power supply, or you were going to hardwire this into your car's electrical system, you would have to either dismantle this and unsolder it, or simply cut the wires. Unfortunately, you can't just swap the power lead out. That's a bit of a shame, really. That would have been quite nice. First look at the radio then, and yeah. It's actually quite nice, isn't it? It looks a bit like a 90s hi-fi unit with this grey front panel. I assume it's got a protective plastic coating on the... I can peel it off because it's showing a few scuff marks, but I'm sure it has. 6-pin mic socket there, removable. Sometimes these are fixed. That's no problem, so you could put a different microphone on it. And just looking at the radio, the layout, it actually reminds me, it looks like a Anytone, was it the AT500M? I'll see if I can find a picture, but that does look like an Anytone radio. So it probably is the same radio, just in a different format. Put that to one side for a moment. What else do we get in the box? Obviously fixing kit, plain metal bracket, unpainted. a mic clip there if anyone ever uses those. Spare fuse, that's quite handy, and the little knobs that are going to screw into the side of the radio. We'll probably use the bracket as a stand. Would have been nice if it had been painted black, to be honest. It would have matched the radio. And let's see if we've got a Enotone CRT style microphone. That's oh no, that actually looks completely different. Okay, do you know what? That feels quite nice actually. Straight away, that feels quite comfortable in the hand. So I've not seen this style of microphone before. This looks completely new. Standard 6-pin plug, of course. We do have some keys on the microphone. Again, these are used more and more on radios nowadays. We have an up and down feature, and one that's numbered PF. I wonder if that's a programmable button. That could be quite useful. Sometimes you can program it just to switch the squelch on, switch the squelch off, things like that. So yeah, it's a nice feeling microphone. It has some weight to it. Very tactile, clicky, push to talk. But yeah, I do like that microphone. Okay, let's get some power to the radio and set it up on a bench, and let's see what it looks like. It plugged into my power supply. Being a 4-watt radio out of the box, maximum draw on this radio, probably 2 to 3 amps maximum. Okay, one thing I'm going to test, let's switch the radio on and see if the sound comes out of the speaker before you connect the microphone, because some of these radios automatically block the sound. Oh, there you go. So you could use it without the microphone, just as a receiver. Let's plug the microphone in, because that's what we're going to be testing in a moment. Standard 6-pin with lockable ring. Now let's see how far I get on before I go to the instructions. I will give you the specs on the radio in a moment, but let's see if we can get the UK channel. So currently that's on the EU block. Oh, I've got an annoying key beep. I'll have to switch that off in a second. That will get on my nerves. Yeah, so that's the Euro mid block. What I really want to see is the FM. I assume. Yeah, so that's FM and AM on the mid block. Let's take a guess, shall we? Normally on these radios, you switch it off, and if I hold down the FM and AM button, switch it back on, that normally. Yep, there you go. So this takes it to all of the different regions where you will get all of the different countries, and you can get all of the channels. Italy, Germany, I'm not sure what that is. Polish, EU, CU, EU. So that, I would imagine, is our UK channels. So if we switch off, this is all guesswork. I haven't read the I don't think it's in the instructions actually. Alright, okay, so channel 30, 27305, an old frequency for me. Yeah, so that's Euro 30, that would be our legal Euro channels. There you go, UK FM, brilliant. So that's our UK FM channels. That bleep is so annoying. Channel 19, 277812, 125 actually, but it's not showing the 5. Okay, so that's good. So it's got all of the standard European channels. It's also got our UK FM channels, and then AM takes us back to the Euro block. Someone asked me this in a comment on a video. Yeah, the FM side of it is purely our funny little 2.5s and our very high frequency. When you switch to AM, it is only going to go down to the Euro block. You're not going to transmit on these high frequencies on AM. Right, I'm going to have to quickly read the instructions now and turn off that annoying key beep, because it's going to get on my nerves. Right, okay, so to get into the menu system, you just hold down what is the emergency key. I believe that's programmable as well, which is quite handy if you've got a favourite channel. Oh, there we go. Yep, so we're into the usual thing. Colour of the screen, I believe there's 7 colours if you want to change this. That's only important really if you're going to put this in your car, for example. Oh, it cuts out. Okay, let's just go again. Brightness, background screen. Hopefully that's coming out on the camera. Should be. Key beep. Yee. Right. On, off. sorted, that's better. Roger beep, I believe there's 6 or 7 different Roger beeps, and there is one that sounds like the CRT 9900, which I quite like. Mic gain setting, very important. There is a talkback feature on the radio as well, so that could be quite handy for mic gain and so forth. Let me just run through some of the features on the radio. I've just had a quick glance through the owner's booklet, so let me just go through some of the features on the radio. AM and FM on the Euro mid-block, also UK FM. Power is 4 watts, both AM and FM. Radio has privacy codes or squelch codes, if you like. The idea being, a bit like PMR radios, you can block other people's transmissions coming into your conversation. However, they can still hear everything you say. It has 38 CTCSS and 104 DCS privacy codes. So if you've got another compatible radio with the same codes, I think the CRT radios do this, just means you can have a little bit more of a private conversation without people trying to interfere. The radio can be used with 12 volts and also 24 volts, and it states a maximum output of 3 amps, and that's quite high for a 4-watt radio, so I'd assume that there may be a mod available for this radio, maybe a high powered output. Receive is just over half an amp. Along with normal manual squelch, the radio has auto squelch, a bit similar to the President system. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a great fan of that. I prefer to do it manually or not at all. On top of that, it has a noise blanker and also an active noise cancellation circuit. This is quite interesting. This is a bit like what you get on HF radios with DSP and things like that. It's now filtering down to CB, so we'll be interested to test that to see if that can really reduce the noise. Backlight on the radio, it has 7 colours, if you like. Radio has a little 2 watt 8 ohm speaker. Already I can confirm it goes very loud. There are 6 different settings on the Roger beep if you want to play with those. Has an emergency key on the front of the radio, which is programmable, so you can put that to your favourite channel. Quick mention on the microphone, because it is a new design, haven't seen that before. Standard up and down button on top for channel select and also menu options, and then that middle PF key is a programmable button. Also worth a mention, when you go into the menu system, you can swap the input on the microphone, so you can have a standard dynamic mic setting, or if you've got an old elect microphone, a power mic or something, you can switch it backwards and forwards. So again, that's a feature you don't normally find on a CB radio. Radio has a standard scan function. It has a voice activated function, also has a timeout timer. Fully adjustable mic gain in the menu system, also has a talkback feature, so you can tune that just how you like it. Radio has high cut, as I mentioned, has noise reduction. You can use the noise reduction on the transmit and also the receive. Might be useful if you're mobile and you want to knock out the engine noise from your car. I found those in the past though to be a little bit crude, so I'd use that with some caution. Radio has an echo feature. I don't know anyone that really, other than Echo Dave, that uses echo anymore, but if you want it, it's there. It has the weather channels built into the radio as well. Apparently you hold down the AM and FM key and there are 4 weather channels. Unfortunately, we can't get those in the UK. That's mainly North America. So quick look at the radio itself. I think it looks rather smart, actually. I do like the fact that you do have the frequency along with the channel. This really helps to get to know the frequencies, especially if you go onto the Euro channels and if you're looking for skip. And then later on, if you maybe upgrade to a 10-meter radio, such as the CRT Superstar 9900, that is mostly a frequency radio, so you get to learn the frequencies. The radio itself, I have this emergency button on the top here. Single press takes you to channel 9. Second press goes to channel 19, which conveniently is our calling channel. And I believe if you hold it down, this now goes to all of those menu options. Yeah, basically everything is there. You can go through this to your heart's consent. I think the only thing that I will probably adjust myself is the noise reduction and also the mic gain. I'll probably set the mic gain quite high, but we'll leave it on 5 for the moment. Below the function button, we have a simple on-off control and volume. Wow. And that goes really loud. That is a very, very loud speaker. No separate squelch control. It's a pity, really. I just don't suppose there's anywhere, is there, to go, you know, on the display. There's nowhere for another little pot. Sometimes they're multifunctional, or you've got a dual pot. Would have maybe liked to have seen a dual ringed pot there, maybe a squelch on the inside. The squelch, if you want it, is over here. Simple press goes onto the manual squelch there, and then you can use the up and down keys. I believe it goes up to about 40. Yeah, that's quite high, isn't it? I mean, generally I don't use squelch unless I'm on UK FM talking to local people. There's also the AQ, there's also the auto squelch. Again, generally don't get on with those. Below that is channel up and down, and then menu options if you don't wish to use the microphone. Nice tactile buttons. I'm going to say it feels quite nice. They are backlit as well. I've got the backlight turned right down at the moment so that it doesn't blow out the camera exposure. But yeah, very nice feeling buttons. And then of course above that we have the AM and FM Euro block, and then back to the UK FM. So a quick look round the back of the radio. I don't suppose there's much to see. Standard PL259 antenna socket. It does have a heatsink on the back, and to me that's saying that it's going to be moddable. That's you wouldn't normally need a heatsink for 4 watts. Interesting, that might be another video. Then we have an extension speaker. It does have a PA system. I don't know anyone that ever uses a PA system, but you can put an extension speaker in. Again, that might be important if you're going mobile. Also, if you get an adapter like this, a mono to stereo adapter, put that in there and then you can use headphones. Connected to an antenna now on the UK FM. Just a little sideline note, look at my noise level, guys. I have got a noise level as S6, which is quite standard for a home-based setup. A lot of you complain about your noise level, and that is quite normal. That will go up sometimes to S8 or even S9 on a bank holiday weekend when everyone's out and about. Personally, that's why I like sideband, because my noise drops right down. Of course, the radio does have a RF gain control. You can knock that back slightly if it's getting too high. We'll just go round the block with the channels. Little chance there'll be any activity on the FM. Might get some people on the 1.9, but I say CB is very quiet locally these days. Let's have a little flick. So I've got a couple of people chatting there. I believe the guy coming in stronger, I believe he's in London, I think. He's got a London accent. So I want to try out the noise blanker now, and also that noise reduction feature. Let's see if we can knock down some of that static without having to use the squelch. So this is the noise blanker. So we're going to just switch the noise blanker on. Doesn't always do a lot. So if you're mobile, it can cut out ignition noises. And there you go. And high cut. Now high cut's really important. That will take that static sound right down, especially on sideband. Simple on-off, no intermediate adjustment. And then what I want to do is find that noise. So this is the receiver. This is the noise reduction settings, and TX RX. So we want receive and noise reduction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes, oh, 5. Okay, so let's just try that on 1 now, and let's go back now and see if that's made any difference. It's not quite so hissy, is it? I might switch that noise reduction up a little bit. Good afternoon. I hoped you might get me. Who's that?
Yes, it's Dan Hatfield. How are you?
Oh, hello, Dan. I'm on a completely new radio, Dan. So I've got no sideband. But before we get into some chats, I'd like to chat to you. How's it coming across, Dan? I've got it on video.
We're very quiet, but I had some filtration on to get rid of some interference. Try again.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. How's it coming across?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a little bit on the quiet side, but yeah, good audio. What is it?
Okay, let me just go in. I can adjust the mic gain because I've just literally set it up. So let me just adjust the mic gain, and I'll come back to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay, Fred. Good to hear you. Haven't heard you this year. Wow, you've been missing.
Okay, Dan. Is that any better? I've turned up the mic gain. Over.
Well, it's okay. This FM isn't my best mode on this radio, but yeah, it's okay. Fred, we've been stepped on by some, I think it's continental stations coming in there, Fred.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, we have got a couple of continental stations there, Dan, going over us. If you want to, you can give them a shout, or if not, we can go up to 325, Roger.
Yeah, okay, we'll try that one then. But they're coming in very strong, so it must be conditions, Fred.
Yeah, they've been banging in all day, Dan. Okay, let's QSY. Let's not interfere with them. Let's go up to 325, Roger.
Roger.
It's always best to QSY. Yeah, Dan in Hatfield. You got a copy on, Fred?
Yeah, I think I've got you there, Fred. Try again.
Yeah, Dan in Hatfield. You got a copy on, Fred?
Yeah, I think that was Carolina coming in there, Fred. Wow. Conditions must be fine in there. I wondered if you want to try one of the Muppet channels and see what it's like on the proper FM channels.
Yeah, no problem. That'll get rid of the Continentals. Okay, shall we go for channel 30 on the UK FM, Rog? So we're going to go Muppets on the FM. We're getting blasted out by the Continentals. It's dead easy for me, but Dan's not on a channelized radio. So this is on the UK FM now, so we shouldn't get any Continental bleed over unless... I'm saying that, unless they come up here. Yeah, Dan in Hatfield. Do you copy Fred in the shed?
Yeah, I've got you, Fred, that's better. Yeah, when I finished talking to you on the other frequency there, I went back to sideband and the Americans are booming in. I don't know if they were upper sideband or lower sideband, but they'll probably spread across all the modes. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's a proper radio. I'm in a radio society, but on the Royal Navy. set up and aerials all over the place. It's the I've forgotten the name of it. It did have HMS.
Good afternoon. Is that you, Richard?
Surely well is there, Fred. And nice to hear you, mate. Long time no speak.
Nice to hear your voice as well on the FM. Yeah, I was just saying to Dan, they changed my work pattern again, so I'm a day off today. Richard, I am recording, by the way, just to let you know. I'm on a new radio on review, a little Radioddity CB-500. How's it coming across to you in Hatfield?
Thanks for letting me know there, Fred. You're Radio 5 crystal clear. And if you give me another over, I'll give you a signal report.
Thank you for that. Your signal, 7 to 8 on my meter. I'm just running the 4 whiskies, just the 4 whiskies out the back. But Mary had a little lamb, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to you, Richard.
Yeah, your Radio 5s, and you're just between the 8s and the 9s, and that's back into Hatfield.
I'll take those flowers any day of the week. That's pretty good, just for the 4 watts. Well, lovely to hear your voice, Richard. You're sounding really nice on this radio. It's not an expensive one. It's just a little AM/FM unit, very much like one of the little Anytones, the Anytone AT500. But you sound crystal clear. It's got noise reduction on it, which is a bit like DSP that you get on a HF rig. And yeah, you're sounding very nice, mate.
So you're cracking through, and it's got very, very clear audio. Not high top end, not DX or anything. It's a very rounded, comfortable Rag 2 audio.
Oh, nice one. Well, it's nice to hear that Pucker Dave's still got his morning crew going.
Yeah, we've got them out as far as regulars from out as Bishop Stortford, a couple much further out than that, Cambridge way, but I struggle with them a little bit, but I can hear them in the mornings, but not in the afternoons. Too much noise by then.
So there we go, nice little chat, nice little QSO there with Dan and Richard. Distance-wise, I know you're going to ask, they're not that far away. Oh, they're probably 7 or 8 miles away as the crow flies. And I was giving, I think, Richard said about a signal 9, Dan a signal 7, just on the 4 whiskies, on the 4 watts. And they were coming through lovely and clear. And as I said before, that noise reduction system there just knocked out all of that background noise, almost like a HF radio. So yeah, impressed with that, impressed with the standard mic. I was a little bit quiet over to Dan, but Richard gave me a very good report. I did reduce the mic gain back down to about, I think it was 6 or 7, just to make sure it didn't overload. But I couldn't get a better report from that radio. And it's a nice little radio to use as well. It just reminds me of a President radio, really, with the display. And yeah, I mean, an 85 quid radio, I'm really impressed with that on-air reports. Right, let's get back to the video and let's do my final conclusions. Conclusion time. What do I think? I think this is a great CB radio. What sets it apart from all of my other AM and FM radios is that noise reduction system. It's very similar to a DSP that you get with a HF radio, and I've been banging on for years on my channel that noise reduction DSP should be included on a CB radio, and here it is. Could you imagine if they were to produce a full-sized home-based radio with a speaker in the front with that noise reduction system, and also expand all of the features, so you would have a squelch feature, a mic gain, an RF gain. Could you imagine a full-sized home-based radio? Unfortunately, they're just not doing it. So for the time being, we are stuck with these portable radios. Yeah, really think this is a good radio. I like this new microphone. Once I got the mic setting set on the RF gain, I had no issues. Had some really good reports there from Dan and Richard. I think price-wise, currently at £85 on Amazon delivered, I think that's just about right. If that's too much, there is the cheaper Radioddity, the CS27 Pro, a smaller radio, a basic radio, but gets you on the air. So yeah, it's about half the price of a full sideband radio. So I think that's probably about right. As I mentioned previously, with the layout of the display, with the frequency and everything, it does remind me of a President radio. Now, I like President radios, but I think by the time they are imported from America into the UK, the price just goes up and up and up. And they're typically well over £100, something like £140, £150 now. It's just too much money. I think this one is definitely priced for the UK market. Has got this large heatsink on the back of the radio, possible. as it shares its generics with the Enotone radio. Possible it could be moddable, might be able to get a little extra power out of it. I might have a look at that on a future video. I'm not going to go inside with my soldering iron, but if it's a simple little mod that I think anyone can do, I might have a look at that. Obviously you invalidate the warranty when you do that. This is the third Radioddity CB radio that I've reviewed now, and it definitely gets the Fred in the Shed thumbs up recommendation. In fact, they've all been really good performers, and I know you guys at Radioddity, you'll watch this video, just to say to you, yeah, thanks for sending the radio in, and you're getting it right. You're choosing the right models to brand and send into the UK. This radio is available on Amazon. If you're interested and you want to check it out further, I will leave a link in the description below. Just to say, I'm not on any affiliation program. I don't get any kickback if you buy the radio. I simply make the video for the channel. As always, thank you for your view time. I'm a small channel, don't get many views, so I do appreciate every one of you dropping by. There's the thumbs up from old Fred in the Shed. As always, if you could just spend a second and hit me a thumbs up down below before you go, I really do appreciate that. But as always, look after each other for me, take care, and of course I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for dropping by. Cheers guys.